So we created fact table, we created dimension tables, we understand the star schema. So we worked with now M code, like when to use and how to use, what are all the transformations that are available, how to cleanse the data, how to check the data quality, how to check the unique values in it. So all those stuff we have seen, But today one of the most important thing, which is DAX. What is DAX and what is the difference between DAX and M code? That is also we have seen yesterday, right? So the M code is basically to cleanse the data, to clean the data, to transform the data. Okay, but DAX is to take the insights, like how this data is, like what are the total sales, what is the average sales in the last year, what is the minimum sales in the last year, what is the maximum sales in the last year. Okay, so these kinds of insights you try to analyze in your data. Okay, guys, you should know what the tool does, what Power BI desktop do. So that is one of the most key thing. If you know how to work with the tool, you will be the master in the Power BI. I mean, I started even with the basic. I mean, I did not get trained, because when the Power BI is getting started, I used to get into a project into Microsoft, the code development team. They used to develop that tool that time. That tool is started with the basics on the Excel first, with Power Query, Power View, Power Edit, Power Pivot. So that time I started working, and I even don't know what is DAX and all those stuff, but still I I was able to learn it, by practicing little by little. But today I'm going to make you more comfortable with what exactly DAX and how you can work, even you don't know what DAX is. Okay, so that's how the session will goes on. Stay tuned, and it will be very interesting topics, and we'll go one by one. So first of all, let me open one previous one. Let's go to this folder then. So population analysis folder, let's open this. Okay, so the main intent is what is DAX. Okay, meanwhile, what is DAX? As I told, it's a functional based functions. If you know Excel functions, this is that's it, nothing much. Don't make it lot of complexity. It is just Excel like, it is just like Excel like functions. Excel like functions. Okay, that's it. Very simple, guys. Nothing to be worried. Even if you don't know how to write DAX functions today, anyway, I'm going to give the basics, but you can work. That's for my promise to you throughout this DAX session. But before that, what is the difference between what can we do? I mean, what are all things we can create using DAX? What are all things the DAX? Okay, we can create a column. Okay? We can create a measure. Okay, we can create a table also. This is called a calculated table. Okay, calculated table. What is the measure and what is the column? See, column is nothing but the a column, right? So in the table you see, let me show you what exactly mean by column. I mean, most of the people knows about it, but see, this is the column. Okay, region name itself is a column. If you want, we can create another column using DAX. How? I mean, there are a lot of functions to do. Based on your requirement, you can do that. Okay, and what is the measure? As I told you, measure is like, you know taking the insights, like what is the sum, what is the total, what is the count, what is the context, what is the min, what is the max, what is the max x. Okay, max a. So a lot of functions are there, but I'll tell you how to use them one by one. Okay, that is the intent for this. I mean, what is the basic syntax? So okay, before we start, you should start with basic syntax. Basically it looks like, Okay, it will start with the name of the measure or a column or a table, whatever it is. Okay, the name. It could be a column, it could be a measure, it could be a calculated table, anything. Okay, when I say name, it could be column name or measure name or calculated table name. Yeah, table name, whatever it is. It could be anything you can write. And how you write with is equal to, after is equal to, you start any of the function. Okay, let's say sum, and you will open bracket and you will close the bracket, and sum of what? Sum of sales. That's simple. Okay, that sales is a column. Column will be represented within these brackets. So sales will be one of the table, right? So the table name, that's it. That this also sale. If let's say table name is also a sales, then sales of sales table, something like that. This is a table name, this is a column name. Or sales amount, let's say sales amount empty. Column name could be sales amount. So this is a table name, this is a function, this is a is equal, and this is the name. So this is a basic syntax, guys. This is a basic syntax. Okay, now let's jump into a practical, and we'll see like how to create that. But before that, I would like to give you one interesting topic. Like, we have also seen that there is a possibility to create the column in the M code also. Okay, M code also. We can create the column, and we can also create the DAX column. But what is the difference, and how? Let's see closely. I just want to show you this thing closely. But there is an open-ended question like when to use what. The answer is it depends. It depends. Like what exactly you want. You want the size. You are looking in terms of size. You are looking in terms of performance. So what context and how complex your model, how simple your model. So all this depends on these factors. But again, maybe in one of the sessions I will definitely clarify you. But at this moment, it is an open-ended question for you. But if interviewer asks, you can tell them that I will use custom column using M code, and DAX I use for the measures and calculate tables. That's how we simply, I don't want to mess you with saying, oh no, open-ended question, which means what could be the answer and what would be nothing. So simple. So calculator column will be created here. But you should know the difference, like why in terms of performance, why in terms of size of the PBX file, right? So you know how to model and how to reduce the size of the PBX file. Okay, so measure. So we should understand measure, right? The measure is nothing but a value, one value. That could be sum, that could be minimum value, that could be maximum value. Okay, could be average, could be count. Okay, these are all aggregated functions, we call them. Okay, these are all aggregated functions. But there are a lot of functions we will come across. But for now, just assume that this is a basic syntax, and we are going to create the column with the DAX and M code, and we understand the measure. Okay, the calculator table also we are going to see, that is called calendar. Okay, calendar function will create the table calendar. Okay, so calendar will create the calculator table. Okay, we'll see that. It creates the table. Okay, this is on high level. So what we understand the syntax. We understand what are all the things we can do with this DAX, and even we are going to learn how to create a DAX even without you knowing what function you are going to create. I mean, that's how, see, this is not my skill. This is the, efficiency in the tool, because this is an advanced tool. Microsoft Power BI is an advanced tool. So it will give you the efficiency to create any code. Okay, that is the reason I initially told anybody can learn this. Okay, nothing to be code. I mean, even you don't know coding, you can work on it. Okay, a Python developer also can work on the Power BI. You can write complete Python visuals also. So it is just, it can work with anybody for any, usage. So that's how it is. I mean, okay, so let's jump in. And now, first of all, I would like to create one column. So new column. So how, if you click on any of the column, it will open up the column tools. Okay, otherwise, if you click on any of the table, it will just go off. They're just table tools. Okay, today you are seeing this external tool I just installed. I am in the master. I mean, so I'm just learning the DAX Studio, ALM tools, all those stuff, but I'll just give you in the later part of the sessions. Okay, but for now you just see, guys, you believe or not, I'm learning because of I'm teaching you. Otherwise, for me, it's not required. I can work any of the functions just like that. Okay, that's my confidence. I will build you the confidence. This is just like this. See, let me show you one of the skill will do. So you want to learn Power BI, you are here and you just started learning, and I'm promising you that how you can do that, and once you are in the project you can do it. So this is the, skill will do theory. I mean, this is a theory, but just I'm telling you, it will possible. I mean, nothing to worry about it. Now let's create the column. So how to create a column? Simple. You can create a column, you can create a measure. Anything is possible from here, also from here. Okay, you have to select any of the column, so that column tools will come. Otherwise, you can go to a 3 dots in the table, new measure or a new column. Okay, let's click on this new column. Power BI tool will give you multiple ways to achieve one task. It has multiple options. Okay, so column, so automatically it will give the column name. Okay, what is this? DAX test. I'm just using this column name as a DAX test. I'm just telling you to. Now what I'm going to use, I'm going to use a function. Let's open up Google, and now what I want to do, I want to just join two things. Okay, what the things, region code and region name want to be in one column, so something like that. So what to do? Okay, I mean, in the Excel we call the concatenate. If you know that, same use DAX concatenate. Okay, DAX concatenate. So if you know, I mean, if you even don't know the concatenate, you can write how to join two columns in DAX. So this is how you should write. So now it will be open up in docs.microsoft.com. Here you will learn all the DAX functions, all the DAX functions. But for now, see, what is the syntax? Concatenate text1 comma text2. Simple. That's it. But now if I do that, let's take that. Okay, simple. What I want is region code and region name. Okay, region code. Okay, comma region name. See, simple. What is this? This is a table name. Okay, this is a table name. Again, this is a code. This is a code. But if I enter the concat, no, I have not used the function. Okay, let me use the function. So how to use? Simple. If you write something, it will come. Simple. Tab. Okay, enter. But there is a problem. See, without space it is coming. I want to add some space also. Okay, now let's go to that. See, concatenate hello and world. It will concatenate hello world. Okay, If you want, you can do that also. We can do that. But we want some space. See, if you want first name, last name, in between there is a space. But how they have used concatenate, they have used. Examples also it is giving. Guys, this is one of the best tool to learn with the DAX. Okay, now I want to add the space also. What I can do, simply I can copy till here and paste in between. That's it. Will that work? It should work. Simple. What I did? I didn't do anything. Let's say you want, see, in between quotations, I put the comma. So comma came. If you don't want to have any comma, you can just simply and give the space and simple. That's it. Space will come. Let's say you want some dash, you can give dash. See, in future, if you want to make it a delimiter, if you want to split the column, you can use delimiter and split it. So something like that. Okay, anything is possible using DAX. So now we have created the custom column. Okay, using DAX. Now let's jump into query editor to create the same kind of column. Where did we create? In the dim region. Okay, let's go to dim region query editor. How to go? Go home, go to transform data, go to dim region. Here I would like to concatenate these two things. Okay, so here also we have add column, add custom column. See, column name, this is m test column. Okay, m test column. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to add. So even if you don't know how to combine the two columns in M code, combine two columns in M code. See, simple, table name and ampersand and table name. That's it. So I will use this. So what I have done, click it. Okay, and I put ampersand and region name. That's it.
Mahendra, how did you go to the M test? M query window.
Simple. Okay, let me cancel it. So you mean to say add column query or M query? So let me, oh, sorry, I closed this by accidental. No, I didn't close. See, simple. Come to home, come to transform data, or multiple ways. Didn't I tell this? Edit query. This option is also there,
Yeah,
right?
you said that. I just want to see how did you open that M query part.
Oh, M query. Yeah, simple. Just add column. Here, just go to add column option. There are ribbons, right? Home, transform, and add view tools. So tools, just today you can see these tools, but yeah, go to add and just click the custom column.
Okay, okay.
So it will just open up the window, like how you want the custom. So this is M test.
Okay, got you. So beneath that you can write the M query
Yeah,
formula. Okay,
yeah.
got you. So initially, if so before this you showed
Actually,
how to
this is
write
a
a.
wizard. This is the wizard. Okay, this is the wizard. But actually, M code will be written in the function formula here. This is the R in the advanced editor. Okay, this is just a wizard. Now, what is a wizard? Wizard will tell you. It will ease your work. It will help you to work.
Okay,
Understand?
we can write M query and DAX both in the formula bar. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, yeah. You can directly write there. No issues.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
and ampersand ampersand, and this. Okay. What it is saying? Some error it's throwing. Show error. Let me see what exactly it is telling. Column name is equal to see in between there is a quotations. No syntax. Okay. Then click OK. See, the formula is actually came here. Is equal to table.add column. We will come to this. If you really interested, you want to write that M code, I will give you in the master class. That is a complete master class. But actually, I will tell you it is really not required for you. If you want to get the job, guys, getting job is one thing, and knowing the subject is another part. Okay, even if you don't know subject, you can get the job. So that's what I can promise. How you can do that? Just prepare 2-page script. Okay, it should be like a I mean, yeah, it's a kind of a, I mean, the words that you build and prepare, and you can present in front of interviewer. The 2-page script will throw through your interview. The first 5 minutes you need to engage the interviewer. How? You need to tell about your project, you need to tell about your skill set, you need to talk about the processes that you worked on, you need to talk about your agile way, you talk about your roles and responsibilities, you talk about the code deployment, you talk about this that. So it will just goes on, and the interviewer will understand, okay, this guy is perfectly working. I mean, this is a process that we work, and this is how we are actually expecting. So while you talking about your project, you will also talk about the some of the skills in the project. So then you will understand, oh, this guy is actually this much skilled person. So why can't we take? So you will just, while you talk about that, tell about yourself and your project and your skill set, then you will just come up with a mindset saying that, okay, why can't we see some more interesting facts about this guy? So that's how you will made up, and you will just very enthusiastic, and will ask some interesting questions to, with some doubts. And those doubts also you should prepare, and that doubts also should be clarified within that 2-page script. Okay, will that talk later, but just I'm telling you, getting job is different, working is different, and yeah, that is the different thing altogether. But again, if you see here, there is no delimiter. If you want delimiter, what to do? Simple, just enter the space there, click enter. See, space, whatever the delimiter you want, you put there. Guys, learning things are endless, but we should be make sure how precise we can learn and how efficient we can go ahead. That is the most important thing. Okay, now we prepared the both of things, and let's load them. How to load? Close and apply. So things will get applied. Yeah, but what is the difference? If an interviewer might ask you a question like, why are you creating a custom column in the DAX, or why can't we create? I mean, what is the benefits when you create the column in the DAX? Okay, just I'm going little deeper inside that. Now, see, whenever I create the column, the entire table is loading. You observe? When the table size is very big and you can't wait for the time, I mean, this table is actually less. Okay, what is the no rows? I mean, it could be 199 rows. Okay, so it's easy. I mean, it might take a minute or so, but when the table size is very big, it has millions of records. So if you do any changes in the custom column, that will take time to load each and every time the table is actually loading. Again, what columns are using to create the custom column, that is also important. Are the columns are actually frequently changed? And so that is also depends one of the factors. That is the reason I did not given any conclusion, but for your interview purpose, I'm telling you that custom column better to create if your table size is smaller, better to create in the M code. Okay, because in the ETL process, Vertipack backend, there is a Vertipack engine in the Power BI. It will optimize in a better way. But even in the DAX also, there are two more engines. They work. Okay, query engine and optimize engine. There is a conceptual thing, but we can't go and see anywhere. But again, there is a theoretical part. But the thing is like in the DAX, it will just create on the fly, just like that. Okay. The difference is in the ETL, it will recreate and it will load. Once load, that is efficient. But in the let's say you have lot of measures and lot of things, and they will run on the fly. Whenever you refresh the data, they will recreate again. So that is the thing basically. You understand, right? If not clear, if I confuse you, then let me repeat again. So if the column size, if the table size is very big, okay, and you are creating a custom column in the M code, okay, and those two columns, the M code, the custom column also having a two dependent column, right? Here we use region code and region name. So those columns getting frequently changed, then better to avoid there, because it will take time to load. Okay, but
So, what is the best practice to do, DAX or mcode, to concatenate or else to add a custom column?
yeah, see, anything, the best practice is nothing. I mean, you can take the column and you just concatenate. Anything is fine, but I'm telling what context we use what. See, both can achieve the same. So if you have a iPhone and Android phone, you will just think like what context I will choose what. So if you want a dignity, you want a professionalism, just choose the iPhone. But
No,
if you think in terms of
I'm talking from the performance and the size of the PBIX perspective.
yeah, so if that is the case, um, the size will again, that is also open-ended question. It's again depend on the columns that you choose.
Correct.
But for
So,
now, I can tell you that DAX will take the more size, but M code will make you precise because it's already the column is actually creating the ETL process itself. So it will make you some efficiency and it will try to load you.
okay.
So M
But
code
M code to load it, it will take time, right?
yeah, that is the problem. But see that's what I'm telling you. Whether you are the what is your dimension that you are looking. Either you want that storage is your problem or performance is your problem. What exactly you are looking. So the dimension is important.
But do we focus on
But
That
writing a
is the reason
DAX?
like,
I've
what
also
would
told
be the
you.
most
Yeah,
situations
that
like performance or a
right,
storage
right.
issue?
That is the reason I told you if an interviewer asks you, where do you create the calculated column? So I told you to tell in the M code. Again, he might ask you to understand your mastery in the tool. He might ask a question, why? Then you have to tell this big story. Now, ask the question.
Okay, so what I'm asking is, majorly DAX is only used for measures. Why are we using it for dimension right now to concatenate two columns?
That's what, see. Why did I mean, you want the real-time scenario? I mean, what exactly?
Scenario. No,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, so concatenating two columns, is it
See,
efficient in M code or else DAX? That was my question.
yeah. Again, the efficiency will vary, depend on the scenario, depend on your model, depend on the column that you choose. So all these will vary, but you can tell the interview that I will create we prepare the best practices, and as per our analysis and best practices, we come to know that M code is the best suits for this custom column. That's how you end the interviewer. Okay, in the interview question, interview answer. Simple.
Okay,
Okay.
got you.
Yeah. But there are, see, we just use this concatenate, but you might use, some profit, some, you might calculate. See, there are sales and, sales price and the, cost. But you need to take an insight to understand what is the profit for me. So you can create a column on the product. Okay, so there are a lot of things you do in the custom column that can be done in the M code also, can be done in the DAX also, but we'll come to that. That's the reason this is a first class, so we cannot go that deeper. I'll come to that part. I'll give you one very good concept there to understand much better. Okay, for this at this point of stage, just leave that. Okay, don't confuse when to use what. Okay, but for your interview you can clearly tell that M code is used for the custom column, DAX is used for measures or calculate tables. Okay, so now let's jump. So we understand the syntax, we understand the difference between calculate column and measure, right? So what is the measure? Let's say how many records are there, the count of M test is called measure. Can we see the measure here? When I come to the table, can we see the measure here in the table? No, you cannot see. But how to see the measure? Let's say, let me create measure. What is that? Count of M test, simple. Count measure. Count or something like that, okay? Whatever it is, meaningful name. See, the context is I'm just trying to understand. That's the reason I'm using count measure. But for you, how can you use a count of M test? Something like that. You have to use. Let me use that word. Count of M test. So what is the count of M test? Simple. Use the count function and open bracket. It will tell you the column name. Okay. Simply write M test. M test. Fun. There you have to just simply choose. See, it is created. If you see the symbol, this is measure. I will tell you the best practices, okay, later, but for now you assume that this is the measure. Okay, see, this is the measure symbol. It represents calculator. Okay, so we should be very careful. What is the difference between? See, it was confusion initially for everybody, but simple. Column will be column, measure will be measure. But again, I will go one point deeper. When to use measure? Measures will be used in the visualization. See, if you click on this visualization, there is a value section. Okay, value section. For that values, you should use measures. But did I use any measure here? I did just simply pull this population here and I made it sum. This is not the best practice. Okay, what you have to do is you have to create the measure in the population table saying sum of the population. Okay, end user might use this. If your data model is very small, you can use this. But the best practice is to create a measure. What is the total population? Equal to sum of the column name population. Population. Just a tab. Will give you the same results. See. Let me remove this. Let's add this. See, nothing difference. Okay, nothing difference. Because it's measure, the options are different. Because of measure, the options are different. See, guys, this is one of the most important area to clear out your doubt. Okay. Even after listening this class, you should be very confident that where you should use measure, where you should use, okay, the value section. You always, your goal will be to see those measures in the value section. Okay, so if it is a table also, there is a values. Okay, total population. So it will depends, like okay. So but again we need to slice and dice so that it will be changed based on that. Okay, anything in the value section, you will be using the measure. That is one of the common thing. And
Yeah, earlier population was on a data category, and now you had created with the DAX total population. That's the only
yes,
difference, right?
yeah, that's the only difference.
Functionality is the same.
Yeah, functionality it is same, correct. But
Yeah,
this is the
here
best
also it's
practice.
a total and sum, and here also it's a sum, right?
Yeah, right. Let me show you again. I'll put this. What Power BI is doing for you? It is actually giving you multiple options. You are not sure what to take. That time you just make it sum, and you want to see average. You can see average. You want to see minimum. You can see minimum. If you want to see maximum, you can see maximum. Okay. If you want to see count, you can take count. If you want to take count distinct, you can take count distinct. What Power BI will do internally, it will create all the DAX dynamically. Okay. If you take this, why the best practice comes into picture? I'm going a little deeper. Okay. So if you use the column directly, by default, it will create internally, it will create all of them for you. So you are unnecessarily wasting this space in the Power BI. Okay, you are wasting this. That is the reason you can directly tell the straightforward. You can give the straightforward answer. No, 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 don't do anything. I'm already calculated total population. Don't unnecessarily waste your memory. So that's how we are telling to Power BI. Don't use your extra memory. I have already used my memory to create the total population. So that's where the measure will come into picture.
So you mean to say that DAX will occupy less space on the
Yes,
server?
right.
And okay, that's the reason you are using DAX. I mean to say,
Correct.
rather than the data category column.
Correct.
So I have a question on the same contrary.
Right.
Does this particular measure get stored in the memory?
Yes, that is a difference. See, the M code is actually happening in the data cleansing part, but this will create on the fly. When you load the data, when you refresh the model, these all the calculations will happen on the fly in the memory. See, this is purely on a Vertipack engine. If you understand this Power BI, it is a in-memory processing system. So you no need to worry about the memory thing, but that is the advantage of Power BI. It is a
Correct. I'm
purely
asking about
in-memory
in-memory
processing
only.
system.
I'm asking about in-memory itself.
Mm.
So does this calculation, the numeric calculation,
Mm-hmm.
get stored in the memory, in
Yes,
memory?
yes, in memory.
But again, DAX should evaluate when required, right? It should not get saved. The data of the DAX should not get saved
That's what.
in
Whenever you
memory.
process the data, they will evaluate on the fly and they will store in the in-memory.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. So got it. So basically, okay. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Nothing to be confused. It is very simple. We are efficiently giving our efficiency to Power BI. Don't use your extra energy. So that is the reason we are creating memory measures, and they will store and they will process dynamically whenever you process the model. Okay, so what else? We understand the difference between M code and encoder DAX, encode function, and the same usage of DAX also. Okay, and what are the common DAX functions that we are going to use, and what are all the operators? See, one of the most important and interesting thing is like uh, in the DAX you can multiply a whole number with the decimal number, or you can add, so any operations can be done. You see, these are all the numbers only, right? But there's a decimal, so inbuilt actually whole number is also having that 0.00. That is the reason with you don't need to do any formatting thing for in terms of whole number and the decimal number. You know the difference, right? The whole number and decimal number. Decimal number will have dots, dot 0.00, 0.13, 0.12, something like that. That is called decimal number. This is a whole number. Okay. See, this is a whole number. Whole number will not have any dot 00. But if you want to do any operations on the whole number and the decimal number column, you can do it without changing the format. So that is one of the interesting factor today you have learned. Okay, interviewer might ask you, can I do a DAX operation? Can I use a function? Can I add or multiply or any operations uh, between whole number and the decimal number? Yes, you can do that. Okay, so that is one thing. But what are the common functions that we have in DAX? Lot of. Okay, but see, if you go in terms of, if you categorize broadly, there are five categories, but yes, we have a lot more also. But for now, just think that in terms of mass and stats, we have some average, min, max, divide, count, count A, count rows, count distinct. Okay, sum x, average x, min x, max x, rank x, count x. So these are all the mathematical functions are stats functions. And logical, if location is equal to USA, what is the sales? Okay, if error, I will tell you when to use, when not to use the if error to debug the code. Okay, that is again a master level, it's rarely used, I never used. Okay, I'm telling you. And or simple functions, switch, true or false, all these are boolean. The true or false are boolean, yes or no is boolean. So these are all common functions we use, but it's very easy to understand and easy to use with the help of Microsoft Docs.microsoft.com and with the help of Google. Okay, I can tell you that, I mean, though, so this is a subject and this is a subject. No, that is my intent is not to give you a gnan. Okay, I'm giving you the efficiency, the way you learn and way you practice, way you survive once you join into the Power BI role. Okay, that is the important. Otherwise, I can go and give a lecture like, use this, that. I can give you that, but that is not my intent. My intention is different. My intention is pure. Okay, you should be able to work with all these functions. Okay, even without know how to do that. Okay, now we understand the basic functionality. Okay, basic syntax, sorry, basic syntax, how to write a DAX function. Function name is equal to function, small parenthesis, what we call them, a parenthesis. Okay, and then the column name inside and the operations, expressions, whatever we call. Okay, we will go deeper step by step, but let's assume these are all the filters. Okay, calculate is one of the most important part. We will talk this later. Okay, and filters, all except rarely used functions, but use relationship, one of the most important thing we will discuss. Okay, date is actually one of the most important thing we will use frequently. We are going to work with that. Okay, let me do it right away. Okay, date is one of the most important thing. Now,
To already existing columns also we can apply DAC, is it?
yes, that's what, whatever, see, you are taking the insights on the data.
Say now that country ID is there, how do you convert it to DAX?
What do you mean by convert? See, are you taking any insights from the country ID? Conversion will happen in the formatting or in the categorization, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there is a purpose when you do that. What is the purpose? You are converting the country ID. Do you have any purpose? Do
Okay.
you do any insights with that conversion? That matters.
Okay.
Right. So we will come to this summarization and data category. This is one of the most important topics. Okay. But for now, where we are in the calendar function. Okay. We will go to that, and I will try to create the table for that. Okay. Now, how to do that? Table tools. Create a new table. See, entering data is a different story. Okay, we are in the data model. When I click that new table, it is actually asking you write the code. Okay, in the M code, in the query editor, when I click on the new table, it will open up and it will ask you to enter the data. But when I click here in the data model, okay, when I click on the new table, it's asking you to write the code. Okay, now let me write calendar table. Like is equal, that is a name. Okay, you can without space you maintain based on your best practices, or you can use I underscore whatever it is. Okay, so calendar table is equal to, now even you don't know, let me go here and just search calendar X. Simple. It will tell you calendar start date and end date. Simple. It will give you example also. See, now inside that calendar we use date function also. Now let's do that. Calendar, open bracket and close bracket. Okay, inside that date function, and again year. So how many years of data you want? Let's say my analysis will be restricted between 2019 to 2021. So you just assume that 2019 comma month. See, the tool is how efficiently it will tell you to write. Okay, month. So obviously I will start from month 1, 0, 1 or 1, anything is fine, and day we start from 1. Okay, now comma, actually this bracket is for whole bracket. Let me close this and put comma and date again here. So this is the start date and this is the end date. Okay, And let me close this date also. Inside date again, you need to enter year. So because if I close that, it's not opening, but date of 2021, comma, month 12, comma, 31st. So see guys, brackets highlighted, light last bracket is highlighted, okay, and inside that there are again brackets, so should not get confused. This two brackets to understand the table, the end date. These brackets will give you to understand this start date. This is the simple syntax. Calendar table, we will have calendar auto also. I will tell you when to use calendar auto and when to use calendar date. If we are sure that there is a you are 100% sure that your data in future also, I mean it's always will be 2019 to 2021, then you can confidently use this calendar table. But sometimes, okay, you will be very I mean data will change randomized, and you might not know like what was your business history, and when that sales are started, and you don't know when that is going to end. So in that time calendar auto will help you. We'll talk that point later. Now let me click enter. There is a syntactical errors. Let me remove this.
You did not
Again,
put calendar function.
sorry. Yeah, thanks for that. So always we should put the, see there are, when I say cal, it came calculated table, calendar and calendar auto. So just select. See, this is how I should write, but anyway. Why? Two brackets, extra brackets are came when I enter that calendar. Very simple. And from here we can extract whatever we want. Okay, we can extract. I'll tell you. I mean, I can give you the how to extract only month number, month name, weekday, week number, quarters. How to work with quarters. So all those things comes here itself. Okay, so I'm just saving this file as a. So what things we have learned today? We learned in just summarize the concepts. Okay. This is basically M code column versus DAX column versus docs column and calendar function. This is the one today we have learned. So I've given the foundation, like what is the DAX, okay, when to use DAX, okay, difference between M code and DAX, okay, DAX basic syntax, DAX common functions, okay, even without knowing DAX also how to write. Okay, hope you are clear with this statement. Even if you don't know, you just simply copy and paste this and it will work for you. Simply, even if you don't know, simply copy paste. Oh, sorry, name. Calendar table. That will work. See, it will create for 1 year data, 2005. So that's how. Even I don't know, I just copied and pasted. Okay, so you can use this min sales. This is I mean I will talk this later, but for now just stick to this. Okay, guys, we are just putting an effort for 1 hour, but we are clarifying a lot of things. But when you try to put efforts throughout 8 hours in your work day, you will learn a lot. Okay, okay, so nothing to be panicked, nothing to be confused. DAX is very easy, and even without docs also you can get the job and you can work, because you could be the administrator, you could be visualization expert, and all your data sources, data ETL operations and everything might be doing in the SQL Server side. So you are only intended to create the visuals. So you cannot define your job role just like that. I mean, Power BI developer should know everything. No, it's not. It's just an assumption and illusion. You might be fine if you can create the best visualizations. If you can work on ETL part, okay, the M code. If you are fine, you can work with DAX also. And if you don't know all these things, if you are an administrator, you know how to create the workspace, you know how to create the data set, how to give the access, how to create the dashboards, how to pin them, all those things. If you know, then that's also perfectly fine. You are the suitable person. Okay, so it depends on the role, whether you will be in a developer, what are the sources you are working. So all those matters. But what we are learning, we are taking this tool and we are looking this tool 360 degrees, like how best we can use this tool. Okay, so that you can fit in every job role. Okay, now open to questions. I will share this anyway.
So in the real time, this DAX and M code is rarely used, is it? Or
Yes.
how to notice it?
Yes, actually, still, I can say M code you will not write at all. Okay, Power BI will write for you. Okay, Power BI will write for you M code. Okay, because I'm teaching, I'm just showing you this is the M code. It will be in the formula bar somewhere. So whatever the step it is applied, you will go and see in the advanced query editor. And I will tell you when the data flows comes into picture. I will tell you the importance of M code. So even though you don't write, but you just use that and you will just create the data flow. I will tell you that. But see, M code you will not write, but if you understand better, then that could be add an advantage. Okay, even if you don't know, you will understand very easily by seeing that. That is the efficiency of the tool. It's not efficiency that I'm teaching you. Okay, and even for the DAX also.
So one small question here,
Yes.
Mahendra.
Yep.
Can you open the PDF file which had category-wise DAX functions?
Oh, DAX common functions, yeah.
Common DAX functions, yeah. So, we'll be taking all the functions, right, in this section?
Yes, you should be confident while working all of them.
So you will be explaining all the functions
Yes.
with an example, right?
Yes, if you want, I
Okay.
can give.
Yeah,
But
please, that will be helpful, because
right.
what we can do is we can take at least one day, we can focus on math function and cover all the math function. You can explain all the math function, logical functions. As in, that is what my expectation is from.
Yeah, I understand your instability, but I'm sure end of our DAG sessions you will be more confident working with them. Okay, that's my promise. See, covering all of them, it's like I mean, if you want, yes, I can give you because I want to learn them. I'm telling openly, I'm not bluffing. Okay, I'm interested to learn, but we will finish this course, and in the Saturdays, okay, Saturday after this batch, in every Saturday we will create an advanced level of learnings. So in what I will teach in that, I will teach you what are all the latest updates came from Power BI. So in the Power BI, every month there are updates. and also we'll go to Encode advanced tips and tricks and DAX advanced tips and tricks. Okay, so covering all of them within this short span of time will not be good, and you somebody if something they don't understand, they might lose the confidence. That is my 360-degree of view. But I promise after my course you will be confident to write any DAX function, any DAX script.
Okay, but no, actually, yesterday we spoke that we are going to take DAX for 5 days, right? So,
See, I didn't tell that I'll only finish today, right? We have sessions, but while I am choosing the concept, I will see in all perspective. Okay, yes, we will work as many as possible. Today we covered almost date function, calendar, okay, and we also concatenate. Okay, today we almost covered three. Some we also covered four. Okay, will come, but they come. See, I will see if I take only concatenate and just work on them, it will be just like a boring concept. I don't want to go in that way of teaching. Okay, it's just not giving a GAN. I'm building your confidence to work on them. We are in the first level, I mean, initial stage. That is the reason, even in the demo also, I promise that we will have an advanced classes. Okay, it is just for learning purpose only. I mean, they will not be useful, but it will give you a more confidence when you learn things. That is the only thing. Okay, I
okay,
will cover. I will cover. If I miss anything, if you are interested in any one of the DAX functions, you just let me know. We will work on them. Okay.
okay, fine. So basically, yeah, again
Yeah, we'll
repeating
cover.
the same.
I am.
Yeah,
I'm going to
if we
take
can
5 days
cover all
class.
the functions, it will
Yeah.
be great.
Even if you go here in this Microsoft docs.microsoft.com DAX. I'm going to give this. Okay. URL, you see there are a lot of, even if you learn, you can't even finish in 5 days. Okay, but I will teach you for 5 days. Is that fine for you?
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is one of the most important link everybody should have. Okay, and the common this thing and this one, right?
Yeah, Mahendra,
Mm-hmm.
I have a doubt on yesterday's PBIX file that we created, the
Please.
model PBIX file.
Mm-hmm.
If you can solve my doubt, that will be helpful. I have a
Sure,
small.
sure, definitely,
Actually, I was
definitely.
doing some. Basically, I'll just let you know my background. I've come from ClickView and Tableau background, so
Super.
I'm trying to implement. So I have like 10+ years of experience in ClickView, Tableau, and Cognos. So hence, I'm like collating that information and trying to build a dashboard there in Power BI.
Mm-hmm.
So if you allow me to share my
Sure,
screen, I can show
sure.
you what
Please.
my expect. So what I'm like trying to build in the dashboard.
Okay.
I'm just sharing my screen. Okay.
Sure. Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay. Just a minute. I will just minimize it. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
this is the dashboard that I was looking at. So
Mm-hmm.
so see, you can see these measures. We have created measures. So age
Okay.
group, so our data has age group, our data has country, our data has gender, our data has population, our data has year. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so is there a way I can create a matrix? Okay, and on selection of that particular age, country, those values get populated in this particular
Wow. Super. I will come to know that. We will create. See, we are not into visualization part yet. Yes,
okay.
we do have such kind of requirement. There is a
Mhm.
workaround for that.
Okay, okay,
I will discuss. This is not the stage to discuss that, but
okay,
yes,
fine,
I will tell.
no problem. Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
thank
thank you. Because I just thought that if the things are easily possible in
Yeah, that
that.
is possible in the click, right? So there's a click, you can create columns, and then there's a green bulb when you select, whenever you select the columns, it will give a view as a table. So yeah, we are migrating basically from click to Power BI. So I am also learning click view.
Okay, fine. Mhm. How do I stop my sharing in this?
Yeah, that's it. Just click on that screen share. That's it. It will go off.
Stop sharing. Okay, yeah. Thank you. So I
Thanks.
just request is if like, because I am doing a lot of Power BI these days,
Uh-huh.
so hence I'm like comparing all the two. So what I did in Cognos, Tableau, and Power BI, I'm trying to implement all the functions in in ClickView also. So I'm trying to implement everything in Power BI. Hence I'm like asking you this question.
Okay, okay, perfect. Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, tomorrow we have a session, is it?
No, no, no. Tomorrow Sunday, right? So no, no session. Even for
Okay.
Saturday is an optional. So even I did
Yeah,
not
yeah.
tell you
I
the.
mean, for us also it will be, there will be time to revise. Else, rest of all days we are all busy with our work. And
Yeah, yeah.